What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today we've got an absolute ton of Destiny news to talk about, from things happening in the next couple of days for Destiny to the summer reveals, and also the Rise of Iron expansion, of course, and even what Bungie has planned beyond that in terms of Destiny content for us to play. So this video is going to be crammed with info collected from all around the internet, so let's begin quickly with the Iron Banner. So you probably heard a lot of confusion around it being cancelled or delayed, pushed back, and also trials as well. It was cancelled last weekend due to an error with the friends list not being able to join people properly and not be able to join into games. That was actually fixed this weekend, and trials is now running normally, and Bungie just said that Iron Banner will be commencing normally next Tuesday. So that is when it's going to be going down. So next Tuesday on the 28th, and expect Saladin to be bringing the Scout Rifle, the Call of Advance's Duty, and the Machine Gun, which is called Brettmart Stand. Expect those two weapons to be sold. So that is Iron Banner. In case you're wondering, it's going to be going as normal next Tuesday. So let's get into some Rise of Iron news. Some pretty interesting stuff. IGN did an interview with Bungie in which they gave us some details about the future of Destiny and what to expect. There was one quote from Christopher Barrett, who of course is a Bungie employee, who said we've got a long road ahead and multiple releases. So typically when Bungie refer to releases, they mean either a full game like Destiny or Destiny 2, or an expansion like The Taken King or even House of Wolves and Dark Below. So releases means expansions or actual full game. Of course, we already know that Destiny 2, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be launching next year in 2017, and we can assume it's going to be in the fall around September like it always is. But the fact that he alludes to multiple releases gives me the idea that there'll be more than just the Rise of Iron as an expansion in Year 3, and maybe we'll have more than one expansion to look forward to throughout the course of Year 3 before Destiny 2, of course, which we can presume is in the fall of 2017. He then went on to talk about the live events and how even over the next years, we've got a live team focusing on the live game, and we can expect more events like Festival of the Lost and Sparrow Racing. He said those exact things. That doesn't mean Festival of the Lost or Sparrow Racing will be returning. We still don't know exactly whether Sparrow Racing will be. It was definitely a fan favorite event, and a lot of you guys want to see it back. But that doesn't directly confirm that Sparrow Racing itself will be returning. It just means that events like Sparrow Racing will be returning. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sparrow Racing itself does return as well, because it was definitely a fan favored mode. Like I said, a lot of people loved it, and Bungie even loved it. So I'd expect it to return probably with a couple new maps and maybe new features. But like I said, new events like Sparrow Racing will also be on the cards as well from the live team, in addition to events like Festival of the Lost. Now, something else he did specifically say, which I think is also very good news, is that he said there's going to be more free updates like the April update. I think the April update, like I said before, was a very, very good change to Destiny, and it was free. It's completely free, didn't cost any money apart from the microtransactions, which is optional to buy. But in terms of improvements to the game, it was really good and had some reworked content. But he said more free updates like the April update. So I'm thinking that's definitely very good news, and hopefully that means every couple months they'll bump the level cap a little bit and bring back some fan favorite weapons from Year 1 or Year 2. The April update in itself was pretty lackluster in terms of content and things to do, but it showed that you don't need a massive amount of content to have a really good update. The improvements in the economy and infusion and all the other stuff was simply enough to make it a really fun grind, and even the Year 1 weapons that you can get in Vanguard and Crucible packages is really something fun to do. So like I said, it doesn't have to be massive content, but things like the April update I'm definitely looking forward to more of, so hopefully that means we'll see similar things throughout Year 3. So he went on to talk about the new Trials armor set that we can see on the Hunter, of course based off the Egyptian theme, and also the Iron Lord gear, which you can see on the Warlock, which appears to be something you can earn through the campaign in Rise of Iron, and also your journey to become an Iron Lord. Again, they're not very clear on what exactly that is. It appears to be a new endgame activity involving the Iron Lords. My guess is some kind of faction or something to do with the social space. But it appears this is Iron Lord gear, and then he went on to confirm that this gear the Titan is wearing is actually the raid gear. He pretty much talked about it and said once again the raid gear is based off the theme of the enemy. It's definitely very strange for Bungie to be showing off the raid gear this early. They've never in history shown off any kind of items you get from the raid. This seems to be a first, and we've never seen a complete set showcase like this where we can see every single bit of item you get from the raid. So it's pretty surprising to me, honestly, but it appears that this is going to be the actual full raid gear. I always expected this to be some kind of Siva infused armor, but not the actual armor you get directly from the raid. And the other things yet to see is the Hunter raid gear, the Warlock, and also the raid weapons. So next up, Bungie also did an interview with Playboy in which we've got more Rise of Iron details, which I'll go over right now. So firstly, they said that any gear that's obtained through the Taken King, you can actually infuse the light level that's coming in the Rise of Iron. Of course, we don't know what the new light level will be, but we do know that we can infuse Taken King stuff to that light level. It's all going to transfer over, and it appears that infusion is here to stay, which I think is very good. I think infusion have actually hit the nail on the head, and it's definitely a very good system, especially with the April update in terms of how you get loot. I think it's definitely one of the best systems they've had. So it appears that infusion is going to be staying just how it is, or mostly how it is for the Rise of Iron expansion. They also said there's going to be new exotics that no one has ever seen or heard of. This is definitely good news. I think we're all hoping there'll be new stuff and not just those 7 I've already talked about in a recent video, those old exotics from the Taken King that were cut from the trailers. So it appears we're getting new stuff we've never seen before. How many, we still don't know, but it appears it's at least going to be brand new stuff we've never seen or heard of before, just like the Zen Meteor, how that was a surprise with the April update. I would definitely expect those old exotics from the Taken King to show up as well, in addition to the new ones. I can't really imagine Bungie just wasting those away and just deleting them. Like I said numerous times, if you go through the weeks or even months of effort of building these new exotics, modeling them, doing the research, design, and actually putting them in the game to the point where they're usable in trailers, you're not just going to delete them. They're not just going to put all that work to nothing. So they're going to turn up eventually in the game. I'd imagine with different perks, maybe they look slightly differently, or maybe they'll spread them out throughout the entire of year 3 with other events or expansions possibly, but my guess is they're definitely going to turn up in addition to the new exotics as well. They also talked about the rituals thing, which is something we've heard before from Bungie, and I mentioned it again in my interview I did with Deej, which I'll link in the description down below. They also mentioned this rituals thing and how it's going to be tied to the end game. It's something they've never done before. So again, this ritual thing seems to be popping up quite a lot, and it appears to be something new with the end game, maybe a new faction or something more than that, but it's how you become an Iron Lord. So the rituals is appearing to be something new you do, and it involves the social space. It's something you actually go to do there. But like I said before, Bungie have been very vague about what these rituals actually are and what you do. So moving on, Bungie also said that in terms of new reveals, we can expect some larger ones in the summer. They said they're not going to drip feed us small bits of info in the blog post, but instead they're going to have massive reveals. So my guess is, of course, the Twitch streams. They've already said multiple times they've got plans to host more streams in the summer and actual reveal stuff. So obviously that's going to be on their Twitch channel. That's something to look forward to in the summer at some point. They're going to be revealing massive amounts of content and showing us new weapons, new gear, and new stuff to do in the Rise of Iron. Something else coming up soon is Bungie Day, which takes place on the 7th of July, which is the 7th of the 7th month. Of course, Bungie love the number 7. If you've been following them for a while, you already know that. They announced there's going to be a Year 2 version of the Moments of Triumph, which appears to be a lot bigger and better. And they said they're going to celebrate our achievements, creations, and of course on the day they'll tell us how to get in the action when the day arrives. So we actually got some Datamined info, which I'll link in the description, which details the Year 2 Moments of Triumph. We're going to be getting 5 rewards from these, and not just the emblem like I got last year. 2 of the rewards are emblems, 2 of them are shaders, and 1 is a mystery temporary item. And instead of just being on Bungie.net like a list of achievements to do, there's actually going to be a book in-game like the SRL book. It's not going to be paid for, you don't need to buy the book. It's going to be free, but it's going to be similar to the SRL book in the terms you open it up. And it's going to detail you the task you need to complete in Year 2 to complete the Year 2 version of the Moments of Triumph. And you might remember it happening last year when they celebrated Year 1 coming to an end. This is a similar way, celebrating Year 2 coming to an end and going into Year 3 with some achievements and some rewards to get. So in terms of what you need to do, the first one is to complete a challenge of the Elders Sigil, of course challenge of the Elders mode with the April update. The next one is to complete the Taken King questline, of course Regicide. The third one is to complete a fully level subclass in Year 2, so the Stormcaller, Sunbreaker or Night Stalker. The next one is to complete the quest The Mountaintop from the Crucible, which is pretty lengthy in itself. There's also collect all 50 calcified fragments, which can be difficult if you haven't done that already. Also a Blade Reborn, that's pretty difficult, getting an exotic sword. Those are pretty lengthy quests, so you need to get one of those if you haven't already. You also need to complete the At the Gates quest from the April update with Varix, of course, and the final one is to complete the hard mode difficulty of the King's Fall raid. So that is all the things you need to do, and those will bag you with 2 emblems, 2 shaders, and a mystery temporary item. If there's any more news about this stuff or Destiny in general, be sure to follow me on Twitter in the description or subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with my videos. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, a massive news roundup. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, drop a like rating on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.